The 9 students who went missing while vacationing at Oaxaca Beach on February 27th were found dead on the side of the Puebla Highway in Mexico on March 2nd. Even more horrifying, a bag containing 8 pairs of hands was found at the scene, along with 2 other hands discovered in the car trunk. A young woman who narrowly escaped made a shocking statement, claiming that the police were behind the incident. Meanwhile, Mexican officials put forward new, equally shocking theories, leaving the public unsure of whom to believe. Before uncovering the mysteries of this globally shocking case, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our exciting videos. On March 2, 2025, police found the bodies of 9 students, 4 women, and 5 men inside a dark gray Volkswagen Vento abandoned in San Jose, Mayahuatlan. San Jose, Mayahuatlan is located on the border between the Mexican states of Puebla and Oaxaca, about 175 miles from Mexico City. The victims were found in a dismembered state, with a bag of severed hands beside them. 4 of them were in the car trunk, while the other 5 were found under a blood-stained tarp. The crime scene suggested a brutal murder, likely carried out by a gang. The victims, aged between 19 and 30, died from gunshot wounds and had multiple injuries on their bodies. Authorities took a long time to clear the crime scene and conduct forensic examinations. The initial report indicated that the victims might be the group of students previously reported missing by their families. The students from Tlaxcala had informed their families that they were heading to Oaxaca Beach to celebrate their graduation on February 14th. However, by February 27th, their families were unable to contact them and reported the disappearance to the authorities. Despite a large-scale search operation by the police, no trace of the 9 students was found until the discovery of the crime scene. The other victims were identified as Ruben Ramos, Rolando Evaristo, and Uriel Calva, all 22 years old, Raul Gonzalez and Noemi Lopez, both 28, Leslie Noya, 21, Angie Lizeth Perez Garcia, 29, and Jacqueline Aylett, 23. The identity of the 9th victim has not yet been confirmed. Surveillance footage from February 24th showed the Volkswagen Vento driving along the Atlixco Highway near the town of Atlixco. This location is about 90 miles west of where the 9 victims were found. Authorities remain unclear about the group's whereabouts between February 24th and 27th. The mother of victim, Jacqueline Aylett Meza, said her daughter went on vacation with friends to the Mexican coast in late February before disappearing. She later called for help on Facebook and provided authorities with several details. "My daughter went missing last night on a beach in Huatulco. Someone took her, and we have no news," Jacqueline's mother wrote. She also revealed that Jacqueline had 2 young children waiting for her at home, and that she was abducted from a restaurant near the beach. Many of the victims' families seemed unable to accept the horrifying truth. Speaking to Mexican media, Leslie Noya's mother admitted that she was no longer lucid enough to comprehend what was happening. The woman wished that everything was just a nightmare and that things would be okay, but the reality was too cruel. She later made a statement suggesting that her daughter had trusted the wrong person. This cryptic remark has only deepened public suspicion surrounding the shocking case. What happened to these people during their vacation is the question that concerns many the most. The details surrounding the case remain a mystery, as Mexican authorities have released very little information. While many suspect that a Mexican gang may have been behind the incident, a new detail has emerged that turns everything upside down. A young woman who narrowly escaped has revealed a horrifying story. The lucky survivor is Brenda Salas, 19-year-old, a close friend of victim Angie Perez, 29-year-old. Speaking to the Tlaxcala State Attorney General's office, Brenda stated that she and Angie were standing outside the Hospedaje Jaca Hotel in Huatulco, Oaxaca, on February 26th. At that moment, a few city police agents suddenly forced them into a patrol car and kidnapped them. She believes that the police were behind the incident that led to her friend's death. However, Brenda did not disclose what happened next after they were abducted, raising even more curiosity as to why she survived while Angie did not. Meanwhile, the prosecutor's office has not provided any details on how Brenda Salas was rescued. They also have not confirmed whether Brenda's testimony is truthful, but the governor of Oaxaca stated that the case is still under investigation. Speaking to the Daily Mail, the prosecutor's office only revealed that authorities rescued Brenda on March 3rd, one day after the 9 students were found murdered. They refused to disclose any details regarding the rescue or the investigation into the shocking case. The testimony of the sole survivor has led many to suspect the Mexican police. Some speculate that the police may have collaborated with criminal gangs to eliminate the 9 students. However, others believe that the police may have kidnapped the 2 girls for some other reason. Under public pressure, Oaxaca Governor Solomon Jara was questioned about the allegations that police were behind the abduction and murder of the 9 students. However, the content of the interrogation was not shared with the media, making the case even more mysterious. Jara only stated that the officers accused by Brenda remain unidentified, but the authorities will investigate. If Brenda's accusations are proven true, those officers will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Meanwhile, based on the survivor's testimony, an observant individual discovered that the hotel where Brenda and Angie stayed when they were abducted was owned by Che Lavariega. Strangely, Jose was shot dead while driving in San Miguel del Puerto, Oaxaca. Also on March 2nd, the same day the 9 victims were found. Upon looking into Jose, many were shocked to learn that he was a well-known figure in the area. Jose had previously run for mayor of Santa Cruz Huatulco in Oaxaca, but was accused of running his own criminal organization. He frequently recruited new members into his organization. From there, the media began investigating and uncovered a special connection between Jose and the 9 victims. According to NVI Noticias, the 9 students did not actually travel to Oaxaca Beach for a vacation as they had told their families. Instead, they were members of a criminal organization called Los Zacapoaxtlas, which was led by Jose Lavariega. Both Jose and the murdered victims had crossed the wrong gang, which led to their gruesome fate. A police source told Mexican media that the group had arrived in Oaxaca in mid-February and engaged in criminal activities such as robbery and theft. NVI Noticias reported that the 9 students had stolen $19,000 from a man at a Santander bank in Santa Cruz, Huatulco on February 14th. The victims were also accused of attempting to rob an ATM on February 17th in downtown Huatulco. The group had also planned to rob a business at a commercial shopping center, but the attempt failed. While they were at the hotel, a group of people claiming to be police officers kidnapped them and took them away. This is why Brenda believes that the police were behind the incident. However, authorities have not yet confirmed whether the officers who arrested these students were real or imposters. They suspect that the Los Zacapoaxtlas crime organization clashed with a more powerful gang, leading to both its leader and members being eliminated. At the scene where Jose was found, Mexican authorities discovered a note left in his car that read, "This is the price thieves must pay." Mexican gangs have long been notorious for punishing thieves by cutting off their hands. This suggests that the killing of the 9 students was likely carried out by the same group and for the same reason. After NVI Noticias reported the victims' connection to crime boss Jose, the state offices of Tlaxcala, Puebla, and Oaxaca all refused to provide further investigation details. The sole survivor, Brenda, also remained silent about the accusations and why they were staying at a hotel owned by Jose. Meanwhile, the mother of victim Angie Lizeth Perez Garcia told El País that her daughter had no connection to Jose's criminal group. "My daughter had nothing to do with that group. If there were a real and serious investigation, I'm sure many things would be uncovered. My daughter didn't deserve this, she said. While Angie's mother denied her daughter's involvement with the gang, Mexican officials presented a new, supposedly credible theory. An official from the prosecutor's office, who was familiar with the investigation, shared details with the Daily Mail. This person claimed that José Lavariega, also known as El Josha, had invited the 9 victims members of Los Zacapaxles to vacation in Oaxaca. Following his invitation, the victims reportedly asked him if they could steal and engage in other criminal activities while in Oaxaca. José's approval ultimately pushed these young people into the most terrifying nightmare. According to an insider source, when the students asked if they could loot stores in Oaxaca, José replied, "No problem at all." With their leader's permission, the 9 students from Tlaxcala, 5 men and 4 women, began carrying out a series of thefts and robberies. However, their actions angered another criminal group involved in drug trafficking in Oaxaca. The problem was that Los Zacapaxles had crossed the line by operating in a rival gang's territory. There is another local criminal gang that controls the area near Oaxaca's coast. And then, what had to happen happened, the official told Daily Mail. Mexican authorities also revealed that the criminal networks in this area follow an unspoken rule: avoid committing crimes that directly impact local residents. However, when the 9 students violated this rule, chaos ensued. The official further explained that the most powerful crime syndicate in the region operates by selling drugs to tourists. Therefore, they have an agreement not to engage in robberies, considering looting a crime that directly affects ordinary civilians. The official also confirmed that the daring robberies committed by the 9 students, as reported by NVI Noticias, were true. The latest statements from Mexican officials have stirred public debate, as this information has not yet been officially confirmed by the government. Meanwhile, some of the victims' families have not yet spoken out about the case. However, many believe that the information revealed by this official to the media is likely true. Oaxaca is widely known as a popular tourist destination, famous for its world-renowned cuisine and stunning beaches. Therefore, the murder of 9 students in this coastal city has shocked the public. The Attorney General's office in Puebla is still working with other law enforcement agencies in Tlaxcala and Oaxaca in an effort to arrest the perpetrators. At this time, I cannot provide any information. There are multiple lines of investigation, but I cannot disclose them for security reasons, said the head of the Puebla Attorney General's office. Most people know that Mexico has been ravaged by gang violence for decades. According to the latest data, more than 30,000 homicides occurred in Mexico in 2023, most of which were linked to gangs and carried out in gruesome ways. In 2018, 3 Mexican film students traveled to Guadalajara to shoot a project for their university. There, they met a 24-year-old rapper and YouTube sensation named Christian Omar Palma Gutierrez. Gutierrez was working for the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Like many others, Christian Omar Palma Gutierrez was drawn into the cartel, where he was paid 3,000 pesos per week to work as a cook. Cook was a euphemism for the gruesome task of disposing of victims. The 3 students, aged between 20 and 25, met Gutierrez in Guadalajara. They had no connections to the cartel, but accidentally filmed a house belonging to a rival gang. The house had been a target under surveillance by the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Shortly after, they were kidnapped, detained, and later murdered to cover up the incident, while Gutierrez was arrested as a scapegoat for the cartel. In September 2011, Mexican police discovered multiple victims stuffed into a sack outside an elementary school in Acapulco. This event led to dozens of schools going on strike due to security concerns. That same day, in another part of the city, police found more victims in a horrifying state. Officials believed this was a tactic used by criminal gangs to instill fear in the public. Gangs often sign their crimes using distinctive markings. In 2022, The discovery of multiple dismembered body parts caused even greater panic among the public. Along with the remains was a note sent to the Mexican Department of Defense, in which the gang demanded permission to deal with those fools from the Cartel del Noreste on their own. "This issue has nothing to do with any of you," the note read. "Please allow us to work at night to eliminate these filthy scum." Gangs often settle their disputes in the most horrifying ways. Share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about this story in the comments section below. That's the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you more valuable content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.